Look, I'm happy to be a part of your history. It's these feelings that always happen to get to me instantly. I start thinking, projecting happiness mentally, like me on the ticket and you excited to get to me. Who the greatest? They mention me, and I'm their biggest fan. Always known to bring that bounce like I'm Timberland. They say they the land anxious, I could never be if you ain't all in. The best you could do is let me free. Cause either way, greatness in my path. Get some money just to split with my staff. Homie, all I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make you happy. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic.
Okay, Mississippi monster, writing like I'm a prodigy. Businessman first, and I don't care for the apologies. My name in the rafters, God does favors. And my reputation real cold like Lawrence Taylor. My flow sick, already know this, I'm the lotus. Michael Jordan flu game, my skills still focus. Simply put, I'm Mississippi, that's personified. 16 bars for me will get them nullified. Jacktown legend had the juice.
Yeah.
Please don't make moves unless you really.
Shout out to everybody tuning in with us right now. Share this stream, share this post. We need y'all with us. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. It is Nightcap Knowledge with Mr. Mac and DJ George Chuck. It's a wonderful day to be here. We got a lot of things that's happening. All we need is lights, camera, action. And I'm going to bring the passion.
Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. Bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic.
All right, Mac. What's up, man? How you been doing?
Man, it's good, brother. How's everything on your end?
It's good, man. It's good. I can't complain. We had a good vacation in Riviera Maya, Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, man. The brothers and sisters down there, they took care of us. The folks on the airline got us there safely, got us back.
Right.
We had a good time. It was my wife's birthday, and she turned 21.
Yeah.
And, it was also our wedding anniversary. So celebrating 6 of matrimony, and I believe that your crispity crunchity self has a birthday coming up too, right?
Crispity crunchity is the new word we're going to utilize for the rest of the 2020. Yes, sir, brother. Everybody that's listening, this is my last night in my 30s as we transition into a nutso.
And there it is. Yeah, if y'all can see this right now, wish Mac a happy birthday in the comments so we can know that you're there.
Hey,
wish his happy 50th birthday.
Hey, you rusty toes. Nah,
that's fine.
No, man. Look, it's just thinking about that. Your last night in your 30s, you just transition to a you have certain mile markers. So you think about 25, 30, 35. You hit 40, and you are definitely looking at I can't fall in the youth category anymore. You're in a different situation, so you should have learned better about a lot of things, and now you still have the energy to still do some things. Still letting folks know, look, we still got a little food left in us. We're gonna preserve it so we can still have a little food left when we're 50.
Boy. Somebody said,
she said, okay, that dude's 65.
He act like it.
I'm confused with age. I know some old fools too.
Your wife said happy birthday, granddad.
Yeah, that's all right. She got short arms. That's all right. Hey.
Boy, that's something right there. That's something. I love it.
Hey, now anybody that knows the Yard Boy crew or anybody that's affiliated, the camp, whatever name you want to give us. We kind of merged all our crews together from 2000. So folks we grew up with from high school, the Alcorn crew with Preston and Coulter. And we created a camp, and it is rough in the swag when we are sitting around talking, because I'm talking about allies with switch gears, and even and now the wives are a part of it. We would team up on each other, and it'd be terrible. Good fun, Now we can talk about everybody in the crew. You just can't talk about everybody in the crew.
This is true. This is
the truth.
Yeah.
So let's remind everybody what we got going on tonight. Tell them about this show.
Tonight? What's on the because you ain't send me no show notes. I didn't get them, but I was.
We doing a recap, but the disclaimer: this show for everybody that might be a little hypersensitive, that you might have a problem with drinking and cursing. This might not be the show for you. This show is rated.
Let's go and get a couple of them out the way. Hold up.
Black and Uncensored. So this is an unapologetic show. We're talking about the social disparities and some of the issues that we see in the African American community. And we we hold different titles and things we do, but we're having a relaxed conversation. We're having some of the same conversations that we had at events to create some of the stuff that we have going on now, like Mississippi Move and Mississippi Greek Weekend. A lot of this stuff started out by us sitting around a grill, sitting outside, sipping on some Jack, 9 times out of 10. Shout out to Larry Legend, responsible for most of that. And we end up sitting around and coming up with some of the great things that we are able to offer the community. And I got a recap to catch up on some of the things.
So what we got? What's first on the recap, man?
Recap: voter education, voter registration. Make sure that you are registered to vote where you live. Very important for this process. So if you moved since the last election in March, make sure that you register to vote where you live. Make sure that your license or ID match where you live and where you are registered to vote at. Be aware of your polling precincts if they have changed. Call the circuit clerk's office. Find out who your election commissioner is for your area. Find out if your polling precinct have changed. With the new ruling coming out, that you have someone that has a medical condition will make them vulnerable for pretty much anything, but especially for COVID. Find out what the process is to get them an absentee ballot. Mississippi Move will be doing mobile notary. So if you need that, call us, reach out to us on Facebook, contact msmove.org, that we can be able to come out and help you get your documents notarized so that you do not have to worry about getting out into the environment and to cast your ballot, because your ballot will be needed. I can't speak for nobody else, but this crew, if we got to come to your house with the notary and a witness, we will have to do that, because it's just that important that you cast your ballot in November 3rd. Election have consequences. Leadership matters. Remember that. Another thing I want to make sure that everybody know the ballot. Know the initiatives that's on the ballot. Know what's for your state that's going to benefit your state. Know what's not going to benefit your state. Don't allow people to come in, put certain things out there to say, yeah, it's going to be good, but then they make the money and take the money from the state. So let's make sure you're educated. So sample ballots should be coming out pretty soon. Know the capacity of the position that people are running for. Know the capacity of the person that's running for position. There are a lot of great people do a lot of great things around this city, around this state, do not hold a public position. There are some people who just became public officials. Just talking to a young gentleman the other day, Ronnie Cruder Jr. He's been doing great things in the city of Jackson. He just now became a public official, but majority of the stuff that he's done was prior to him becoming a public official. So look at the capacity of a person before and see what they've been doing before they run for public office. Also, your job, contact 5 people. Make sure 5 people are able to get to the polls. Make sure you remind them where the hell out of them, whatever you got to do, make sure they get there and make sure that they understand the importance of it. Take your children to this process. Take your day off for work. Volunteer. If it's that important to you and you've been complaining about all the stuff you've been seeing on the internet and social media, regardless of what it is, it needs to be that important. Your children need to know that it is that important to you that you will take off work. Don't use your days to go run around. So the people that we just talked about, they're going to be working on the poll that on doing election day. Make sure you take off those days to be able to show your children the importance. Remember this, parents, you are raising your caregiver. Whatever kind of adult you want your child to be, you have to model that for your child right now. Children do 75% of what they see, less than 25% of what they are told. Model the person you want them to be by taking them to do the things that you think they should be involved in growing up. My daughter was talking about surveys and about collecting data and did not realize that she had taken place and participated in that when she was here with me a couple of summers ago. I said, you learned about it in school 3 years before. You learned about it in real life by doing hands-on 3 years before you learned about it in school. So don't nothing beat OJT. So you make sure we do that. And that's pretty much it, Chuck. COVID information. Watch the numbers. I just want to put out a conspiracy theory right here. People might not like it. I really don't care. Agent Orange, 45, Beelzebub, whatever name you want to give him, all of them be fitting. Was saying that the numbers, if they're doing too much testing, and because of too much testing, our numbers are getting too high. So now we're starting to see a large fall in our numbers. But it's kind of crazy because we keep hearing about how many numbers with school and events and stuff happening. So just be careful, you guys. Still practice all the things they say do for us, the distancing, the mask, sanitizing, make good decisions. Do not allow people to change the narrative in their favor. Because one of the things I keep telling you, elections have consequences. This is going to be connected to the electoral process in November 3rd. They're going to try to use these numbers to justify why they don't need to use mail-in ballots or anything like that, and everybody should be able to go. So now you got to think about taking your loved one or yourself to the polls and risking being exposed to COVID. So we got to make sure. I know some of us got to get out there in that battlefield. So we are boosting our immune systems, doing everything we can to make sure that we are ready because it is just that serious.
Now, speaking of boosting your immune system, we want to give a shout out to folks that have been doing some great things, offering these items in a retail space, and they can mail them to you. Matt, go ahead and tell them about Herbal Blessings.
A big shout out to our plant-based family out there on Fair Street, someone that did exactly what we're talking about when it comes to financial health, economic empowerment. They put their money where their mouth is. They created a great space on Fair Street. Herbal Blessings have all your herbal needs, holistic approach to healing the body, healing the entire you. We love the essential blend. They got the mucus blast tea. They have a lot of different things where you can help heal yourself naturally. So make sure you go out there and hit them up. Eric T. This brother is very, very intelligent. He can sit down with you and be able to find out the things that you need based on your symptoms. One of the major things we're going to talk about, change of diet, exercise, activities, but the things you need to put back in your body to help balance us off. We're just like a vehicle, guys. We take care of our vehicle better than we take care of our car. Some of us are like that old V8 I got outside. You take a little while to wind up, take a little while to get started, but once you get rolling, you're good to go. You got to do the same thing for your body that you do for your vehicles. Now, those folks that truck keep running hot and all that, well, then that's a bad example for you. All right, don't listen to that. But you should take care of your body just the same way. Put good stuff in it if you want good stuff to come out of it. Herbal Blessings on Fair Street, Plant-Based Family on Facebook.
That's right. That's Plant-Based Family presents Herbal Blessings. If you at them on Facebook, it's New Kemet. That's Nukemet. We'll share that on the Nightcap Knowledge Facebook page, and we appreciate everybody for going and giving them a like. So, Mac, what else you got on your recap list for the evening before we get to our first guest, which happens to be one of the best barbecue men in the business, but we want to make sure that we do our recap and make sure that folks are engaged and informed and ready to get shit done.
So we're going to recap. Got a couple things we got to do. Get your cups ready. One thing, recap on a higher note. Well, not so much of a higher note, but we see a lot of information going out. We're still going to be doing some more stuff as a farewell to the king, highlighting the life and legacy Chadwick Boseman in the movies that he played in, especially. So we're going to do some more Black Panther showings. We're going to make sure we got everything we need. We're going to change our time frame to make sure that it's conducive to the light, for the darkness, and make sure that we can have a real good event. We got talks about doing it at a couple other places where people can still drive up and still be outside and still be relaxed and children friendly. We're definitely going to do the showing. We have to show Get On Up. We have to, because that show is connected to us here. We have to show that, but the role that he played as James Brown, the same way, and all those roles were connected directly to his life and how he lived his life. He was those characters because he had the same characteristics of the men he was portraying. Even the character he played in Black Panther, he had those same embodiment of characteristics, moral values, ethics. And that's why he could easily take them on. And that's why he didn't take certain roles. So we can learn a lot from this brother and how he lived. So we're going to keep putting that out there. And we're going to do a deep dive. We might dedicate a whole show to doing a deep dive and to break it down the characters that he embodied on the big screen and help everybody understand why it's so important to know about them. One thing we're going to talk about before I get back to what happened today, the condolences. We have had a lot of our family, extended family and friends that have been hit. And then we got some memorials coming up. So for myself, our good friend, Terrell Kroon, Tougaloo alum, lost his mom. Her homegoing ceremony was today. So we definitely want to reach out to them and show support and just continue to stay in contact, right? We're going to talk about that too on one of those about grief and how grief is one of those things that it does not pass over just because of the moment. You need to stay in contact with those folks and continue to do things to uplift them. Nashambi Lambright lost her grandmother, the matriarch of the family. Anybody that knows Nashambi, she always talks about her mother, Betty, but definitely always talks about her grandmother. And her homegoing services is tomorrow, another Tougaloo alum. So make sure you watch out and take care of Nashambi. Nashambi is strong. I always got a joke for her. I'm going to leave her alone tonight. She's fair game Thursday. I'm just going to put that out there. Fair game Thursday. So yeah, continue to keep them uplifted. One of my coworkers, young brother, passed real early and due to medical issues. Brother named Dwayne Walker Jr. We worked together at CARES years ago. So we definitely want to highlight him. And I never do this a lot. But another young man that a close friend of mine, we grew up together, birthdays are not far apart. Christopher Greer, his birthday was the other day, actually, and he has been gone now since 2002. So he was a fellow Virgo. We hung out a lot, grew up together in Pecan Grove, and he passed in 2002. So highlighting his heavenly birthday. That just passed, and make sure that we say condolences to those family and memorial. So we're taking a shot, Chuck. Taking a shot. Let's see, what shall we take? Now, however you start, you should continue to go.
Y'all look at Matt got it cotton in his ear.
Oh yeah. I'm not ashamed. I'm using all my old people in remedies because old people, they might have knew what they were talking about.
Yeah, man.
What we shooting, Chuck?
Well, for me, this evening I've been afforded, from a sponsor that's outside of our usual network. This is the bottle of Captain Morgan. This is the Captain Morgan summer edition. It's a rum. It's orange vanilla twist, and I actually have a video that will show you how to make my orange vanilla creamsicle. That'll be coming out of my.
So since you shooting rum, Chuck, I'll take a shot of some rum also.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Well, I already got mine pulled up.
All right. I ain't put my drink for the night. Well, this is in memory of all those we talked about that have transitioned, that have gained their wings. So we're not going to pour anything out. That's alcohol abuse. So up to it.
Down to it.
Forget those who don't do it.
I thought, hold on. Whoa. You just censored yourself, Mac. That ain't what we used to say.
My bad. Well, dude, let's start over. It is my birthday eve, so let's go again. Up to it. Down to it. Fuck those who don't do it. We do it because we used to it, so drink, motherfucker, drink.
Peace to those that have joined the universe and that are powers of the universe now. They are forces of power, and we're praying for all those that are out there battling things. I see, Mac, you got a person that's chiming in, Mr. Earl
Walker Bubba Jr.
Yeah, he said he's battling colon cancer at the moment. So look, Mr. Bubba. Yeah, we praying for you. Do what you need to do to protect yourself and build that immune system up, man, and flush all of that stuff out of there. But we appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in with us. We did have some questions that came up, and I think we kind of addressed some of them. Trina asked, are we doing Rise to the Polls? Of course, Mississippi Rules is going to do Rise to the Polls. We'll be doing Rise to the Polls on the Mississippi Gulf Coast Central Mississippi area, and Matt can go into depth on the places or the meetup points and how to get in contact with us. You can call our Mississippi Move number, or you can go to the website and you can email Mac. You can text us. How folks know how to get to us, because usually, if ain't nobody doing rides to the polls, Mississippi Move is gonna be doing rides to the polls.
So the number for Mississippi Move is 662-205-MOVE. That is 6683. Mississippi Move, 662-205-MOVE, MOVE. You can also email us at contact@msmove.org. Find us on Facebook, Messenger, either one of those. We're going to be doing rides to the polls, and we have committed to this process. We got to take people in our own vehicles. If you got to hang out the back of that Ram, whatever you got to do, we're going to get you to the polls, and those who will need assistance with absentee ballots, we're going to help them also. Right. This is very, very serious. And I tell anybody, I have no patience and no time for just empty conversations about how bad the problems are and how terrible things are. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? Start what we can start, right? Let's build our economy, build our budgets. Let's do all these things, take care of our bodies. But election is coming up November 3rd. Right. Are you willing to help us get people to the polls and get them registered?
That's right, man. That's right. Even
big shout out to Black Voters Matter.
Yeah.
One Voice Mississippi. Big shout out to those guys. A lot of good folks doing a lot of good work in the state and across the country. And we got to keep going. You don't have to have an organization to join. You can participate with us. Who is this?
That's one of my older chapter brothers, brother Floyd A. Lewis, Dr. Floyd. He said his favorite word, Jack Daniels. Favorite words. I don't know about
it's our favorite word too, because we named our puppy Jack Daniels.
Well, look, Mac, it was well, yeah. Finish the couple things that we got on the recap, because we about ready to get our guest on.
Gotcha. All right. So the recap we talked about, we did several events. Actually, just gonna run into it. We're gonna talk about the political psychology. So I guess I'll dive into that first before we finish the recap, because that's going to bring in one of our guests. Political psychology, right? I used that term the last show. Let me dive into that a little bit more. Distractions, sleight of hand tricks. Don't be distracted by what is put before you on social media or regular media on TV or radio, where it just gets you to talking and having conversations. Be careful of getting engulfed into what you consider to be good shows, where you get distracted from things that we need to be dealing with in real life. So everybody's talking about Kanye that was able to be a part of the Mississippi ballot. Understand this. Do not be distracted. Do not be distracted by what's happening. All of a sudden, he has a strong alliance, and now he's separating. Do not allow folks to dilute the vote. Vote for who you think is going to be the best in your interest, that meets your needs. And when you sit down and take a sheet, matter of fact, do this. Think about the things that are wrong or things you don't see that you're not happy with in your life. Think about the things that impact your life the most. Which candidate is talking about realistically addressing those issues that impacts your life the most? If they have been president already, what have they done already to impact your life? What have they done? Again, look at their work. So what I'm saying is, don't get distracted. Don't fall for that. Cultural attacks. What do I mean by cultural attacks? People attack you, your blackness, but also they send distractions based on culture. They send things that they know that is pretty popular within the African-American community, depending on whatever level it may be. And they get us to having conversation, to get us talking, get us watching. We engulfed it into social media. We engulfed it. A lot of the things we get distracted. Sports is one of them, right? We can't wait to start watching the game, football or basketball. We know we care more about what LeBron do on the court versus what he do in his community. It's a big distraction. Be careful now. Don't think people are doing it for your benefit because you are bored. The goal is to keep you bored. The more we sit back and entertain ourselves like that, the less we read, the less we're active. So let that sink in about political psychology as things start to pop up the closer and closer to get to election day. Also pay attention to the briefings in the news. And you might not like who's giving them information, but you need to know what's happening. Because if you're not sitting at the table, believe me, you are on the menu. And we have been on the menu for far too long. We need to sit at the table, kick over the table, chop up the table, whatever we need to do. But we need to know what's happening and control our own destiny. So I wanted to definitely recap about that and breaking down the political psychology. sleight of hand. While you're paying attention to what's happening over here, something else is happening right behind you, right? So don't get distracted by that. Stay focused, stay educated, and be aware.
That's right.
Recap, Chuck, we got big shout out to JPD, the support they gave at our event, came by and provided some ride through as we did the events at New Horizon, and then we had some folks come by the event today. Big shout out to the nurses, the techs, the doctors, everybody that works in healthcare, social workers, therapists, everybody on the front lines, everywhere around. Big shout out to you for all the work that you've been doing fighting this pandemic. Don't forget now, other healthcare issues have been affected by this pandemic. Yes, sir.
Now I was thinking about the flyer. Sabir sent that to me earlier, and I want to get that on the screen. So
okay,
I'll continue, and I'm gonna get that on the screen.
Okay, so we definitely wanted to thank them. We wanted to do this earlier, but we were trying to find a good time, and we had at the event we had some music, having a good time. We had voter registration. We had information about census. We had some COVID relief stuff. We had things to do that we think that can help you during this pandemic moment. And we also had gloves and masks to give away. Definitely a big shout out. Turner Care came through, took care of the team. They got them some plates. They had a good time. We had folks from different agencies around us, around the city, came by and picked up some plates. And then we also was able to thank our brothers in the JPD. We got them some plates too for the work that they've done, even though they don't fall into healthcare. But sometimes, as an officer, they end up being everything on the scene. They the EMT. They might be the firefighter. They the dive team. Tell them what they might be, depending on if they get that first. So big shout out to the ones that are doing the work. Also, we are talking about support our healthcare workers. Stop slapping them in the face by not doing the things you need to do to protect themselves. They're putting everything on the line by being there to take care of you while you run around not preparing yourself to go out among people and not wearing the proper gear and not having the proper stuff to sanitize your hands. So make sure that if you care about your healthcare workers, take care of yourself so you can take away some strain from them. Now, we had some food out there, and everybody's been talking about this food we had out there at this event. And this brother right here has so many hats. Oh, I just don't know. I think that's how we end up meeting this guy. It took me forever to learn his real name because forever to me he was causing drama, and that's all I still get caught up in. Like, hey, never mind, Eddie. Yeah, I got to remember he has a real name. He has a real name. This brother's multi-talented, do everything you can think of but sleep, and that's why I guess we fit in so well with as a crew. So none other than the chef for the evening. So if you like the food, if you came through, make sure you put some some thumbs up, Chuck, some hearts or something on the screen.
Look, put all the thumbs, throw some legs, leg emojis, the little barbecue emoji, the chicken leg. Throw them in the comments right now. We got Mr. Eddie Wright of Eddie Wright Barbecue.
What's going on, guys? Thank you for having me on to this awesome chat, man. It's awesome to see you guys doing stuff like this, man.
Where your cup at, man?
Huh?
Wait, huh? If you go you can hear. Where your cup?
Look, the cup has already run over for me.
Oh, Lord. Hey, look, if you had this right here, this is the Martell that Jadenham had on his video. My wife picked this up. Of course, I can't afford the bottle that he had, but good Martell.
Martell is a very grown man's drink. It is a grown man's drink. I'm just a grown man. I'm not a grown man.
Hey, look. When Outkast talk about something, it's grown man.
It's grown man talk.
Oh yeah. That's a good, and that's a different type of Martell too. Man. So
Eddie, look, man, tell us what you got going on, man.
Hey man, I'm just happy to be here, man. This is weird. I'll just say that first and foremost. For those who know me, know I am not a stranger to I will try anything once. And this has happened to be one of those try anything once the moments that have kind of gotten a little out of control. But I love it. It has been a solid year of just upward trajectory in the best way, and it's just been so hard for me to grasp because I've done so much across so many different disciplines.
Tell folks, what exactly are you referring to?
Okay, what I'm referring to now is this is the barbecue, small barbecue empire I have amassed for myself.
Okay, there we go.
Literally June 1st last year, 601 is the anniversary of my business starting from a hobbyist, and started with a new vertical smoker, and now in over a year's frame I've turned that vertical smoker into a 20-foot trailer with 2 additional smokers, a full kitchen, and it's just been crazy growth, acknowledgement, and just putting amazing barbecue and smiles on faces, man.
Absolutely love it. So now look, I know Mac has some questions for you, but my first question, and I'd have been in your comments. I'm like, look, man, the coast ain't got the only bar, and this is no slight.
Yeah.
So for all my coast people that are going to say, well, we got X, Y, and Z, and we got this, that, and the third. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
This is cool.
Look, my homie Silas is on the barbecue team.
Right. Yes, he is.
Right now, I'm talking about this is all smoke, no sauce.
No sauce.
Now, when listen to me, everybody out there in live viewing land, Facebook, Instagram, all of these places that we might be broadcasting from, but somebody that's like, don't put no sauce on that. I want you to taste that first. And if you need some sauce, I just know what type of person that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, can I get some wings like FedEx to me?
Yeah, it probably wouldn't be FedEx, should be priority. So man. I most definitely owe you for that. You most definitely gave us a very amazing ensemble of aprons that, thank God. Well, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we were not able to get due to the COVID crap. Yeah. It slowed down all shipping times and shipping lines and everything. But those aprons are amazing.
Jackson has slowed it down tremendously.
Thank you so much for that gift. It has most definitely been something I hold near and dear to my heart, because I never thought this vision would turn into what it is now, and that be able to have something like that, something as small as an apron with that slogan on it, like, bro, it means a lot to me, man. So most definitely hats off to you. I thank you so much.
Oh, good, man. Look, I'm just trying to like help folk go and grow as I go and grow. Like, I got that from Chaplain Johnson. That's like one of the ultimate mentors, outside of my dad, who is, my one-time greatest all-time mentor. But Chaplain Larry Johnson from Tougaloo College, he would always end every conversation that he had with us at Tougaloo is go and grow. And I finally started to embrace that more and to share it with people. One, because Chap is no longer at Tougaloo, not to say that he's sharing that, but to have somebody that's able to be here with us tonight, who's been able to go and grow within a year. You've grown a barbecue business from a smoker to a whole doggone trailer, and then you're doing all of the branding and everything.
It's been crazy. I'm still, and the more I talk about it, the more it's just very surreal. So I don't take anything for granted, but I most definitely appreciate each and everybody who's taken the time to come and spend money with me, because that's people's hard-earned money, and people have the right to spend their money wherever they want to. So I take nothing for granted. I am very appreciative, and it, from what everybody tells me, like, hey, it happens to be pretty good. So I'll take that.
Hey, so Chuck, let me tell you what happened today. So Miss Turner came and picked up the food for Turner Care.
Okay.
I called back. I said, we had some extra plates. I called and said, hey, they right down the street to see if they want to pick up some more. And the young lady answered the phone. She said, who cooked that chicken? Did you cook that chicken? I said, no, I didn't cook that chicken. Whoever cooked that chicken. That's all she said. I said, well, actually, I was calling to see if y'all want some more plates. Hold on, let me get you to Miss Turner. So she came back and picked up some more plates, because that's what the first thing she said. Who cooked that chicken?
Who cooked the chicken?
And that's a good one.
Boy.
Yeah. So we definitely know that this brother is a true entrepreneur. And it's very surreal when you see your brand become something. We had a good friend of ours, Robert Moman, did a embroidery shirt for me with the Epps Institute on it. So when I finally received something with the Epps Institute on it, I'm like, man, like this is you. You know, even though we have other stuff, every time you see something, you're like, man, this is us. And
Right.
it definitely gives you more motivation to keep going because it is some hard time. It is. Hey, I watched that brother out there. Understand that he is in a trailer. It is 104 degrees outside. And he is serving.
Hey man, why are you pulling up those amazing Instagram pictures, sir?
Wow.
Hey, buddy.
Shameless plug on the meat.
Hey,
No
like
bun.
your boy Outcast say, look, buddy, we ain't coming for no trouble.
Now watch what happened. Now you finna have this man. He trying to get some rest.
Oh man, look.
Somebody better call him and say, hey.
Still recovering. I have not. I still feel like it's Labor Day.
And somebody from the call you right now.
The Labor Day special you were running. Matter of fact, let me go back to that. There you go, right there. Look at this. Look at this, man.
Yeah.
This. That Labor Day special.
That Labor Day special kept me up a long time.
A whole bird for 25. Leg quarters, 5 pounds of leg quarters at 25. You get your party wing platter. That's 50 to 60 wings, $55. Mm-hmm. And then look, I've been salivating over the smoked tater tot casserole.
Man, look,
I think you just experimenting to do that, right?
I saw shouts out to Clay and his wife. I watched them do it, and I think she might have did it in the oven. And I got inspired. I was like, I wonder if I can infuse smoke into this and put my own little spin to it. And brother, let me tell you something. If you love carbs, this is the dish for you. You understand me? And we even do it with turkey. We started off doing it with beef, but we began to master doing it with turkey, and the turkey is just amazing. More people love it. It has been my one guilty pleasure that every time I make it, I have to try and keep a little bit for myself because for research reasons. You know, I have to kind of research it just to kind of make sure we're on the quality control. We're right along in the quality control lines where we need to be. So it is my guilty pleasure. I could eat it 7 days a week. I love it just that much, and people love it. Every Friday and Sunday, I cook it, and it sells out every week, both days.
You sound like my great uncle. My great uncle says that about my wife, macaroni and cheese. He said, I can eat that every day. So every day. So you serious when you said you're gonna eat it every day.
There you go.
Now look,
serious.
Look at this right here. Look at this.
All right. So
what is this? This lamb chops?
Yes, those are smoked lamb lollipops. There's a rack of lamb sliced down in the lollipop, and of course, hold it by the bone, and you just go crazy.
There you go.
So let me ask this question, right? So we do a lot of community events. We believe in party with a purpose. We believe in social engagement with a civic engagement motivation. What is it going to take for Chuck to put an event and you can take that trailer down to the coast?
It is going to take a F-250 diesel Super Duty, hopefully year 2017 or greater. And at that point, I'm terrified of what's going to happen because I got people want me to come to Atlanta. I got people want me to come to South Carolina, North Carolina, even Texas. Once we secure a stable pool vehicle, I'm ready to go to the coast, but I really feel like I'm going to have to recruit a team because I can't leave Jackson. I can't leave Jackson has been so good to me. Let me say this real quick. The city and state of Jackson, Mississippi has been so good to me.
Yeah.
I say that because I have never had to scream into the atmosphere of there is nothing for me to do. I have embraced entrepreneurism. I've embraced hobbying. I've embraced everything that you said you should embrace as an individual and created my own lane and kept myself busy. And as much as I poured into this city has poured just as much back into my life. And I appreciate this city and this state for what it has done for me. Not to take a knock off anybody who's left here, who feel like everywhere else is their home. Mississippi has blossomed me. I will say that. Yeah, we gotta find me F-250, but when we do, we gotta most definitely create the we gotta solidify Jackson and the right way. We gotta create something that's gonna be able to keep us stable because we gotta take this rib show on the road. Apparently, it's gotta get in other people's hands.
Yeah, man. Look, I understand what you mean with reliable transportation. I want to shout out my wife for pushing me to do that thing because man, I used to drive a lot of places. I don't drive as many places now as I used to. But going to DJing and you going to these little small town doing these wedding receptions on weekends and you rolling and you got equipment, you got all your stuff that you've amassed in the name of doing your business.
Yeah.
And you rolling in something that you've been rolling in for I don't know how many years. And Mac know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about being able to get on the road and have the confidence and not,
right. Of knowing when I go.
I understand exactly what you mean, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, and the crazy thing about it is because we had to do so much traveling around the state when it comes to voter registration and getting out, is we in the same boat. We got either events we doing or we're going to do some civic engagement, and you like, okay, and you got to have the vehicle that fits the work that you do. You got to be able to put everything in it because majority of the time, this is a downtown for us. We live out those trucks. We got everything in those trucks. You got your water, snacks, and you got to be able to put everything you need. I think I was talking to Cousin Drama today about how we used to be rolling, and I used to keep a bar bag with me.
Yeah,
just keep all my bar stuff. Chuck had a go bag. I'm talking about turntable never left out of his truck because we would be somewhere for a different reason to say, "Hey man, can you spin? Hey man, can you bartend or whatever?"
Now look, and here's the thing. Here's the difference between then and now. The things might be loaded, but if you ain't paying the rate,
it ain't coming out the truck.
It ain't coming. It ain't coming out the truck, man. Look, nope. No, man. Those days are gone. But back in the gap, yeah, your boy would be ready, and then man, just get us a bottle. We'll be good. Buy my own bottles.
Hey, we got bills. You got right. Bills. Bottle don't pay the bills. You gotta have something. Man, we've had some great support, some great friends, man. A lot of this stuff started out as fun, evolved into a business, and now it's, like I said, a way of life where you have folks you work with or associated with or friends, and you see each other, anytime it's a big moment in one of our lives, they are there, participating. So we definitely have grown, and man, we still got a lot to go because we got to not only reach a certain, we still got plateaus to reach our own self, but we got to pass this thing down. Got to keep passing this thing down. And what you said about the entrepreneurship, every Black business owner has to have a hustler's spirit. And I was talking about that today. We got to have a hustler spirit. You got to go get it as long as it's out there to be gotten. Because when things slow down, then you can rest. But if you're trying to work for yourself, there is no off time. You got to be taking, if you ain't checking emails or replying back, you're working all the time because you're creating your own source of income so that you can control more of what you do and how you do it. And then you can outsource it to people. But, it's a big difference now. I can tell everybody the cost of freedom is high. You pay economically now for working for yourself.
Man, look,
ain't no call in. If it break, it's yours.
If you don't have the money to pay, it's your fault.
It is your fault. The insurance is your pocket. Everything falls on you. So now you understand a lot better when other folks say, "Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do this." You're like, why they tripping? Now you're like, man, I got to pay for this stuff. It makes a lot more sense. And we're trying to evolve too. And the more evolve, the more we're talking about evolving, the more money is you got to put out on the front end before you can get to where you need to be to look the part.
Yeah, man. Freedom ain't free. So we want to be able to help Eddie and the other business owners out there to do what it is that they do and continue to keep going. So we want to encourage everybody to go like Eddie Wright Barbecue. And if you're in that central Mississippi area, you're passing through anything like that, make sure you reach out to Eddie, coordinate your catering plans. Because Eddie, you do catering, right?
Yeah, I am a licensed Mississippi caterer, so I can
You
set
heard
up
that.
your office parties, your bar mitzvahs, your
Yeah.
breakups, your makeups. If it involves food and happy times, even sad times, we can put some barbecue into it and make it feel good. Also, I have a YouTube channel. I hate to even do this, but I'm pushing for a I guess you can say another stream of income. I'm a content creator also. Twice a week for the past year I've been doing content videos on barbecue and different recipes, different styles. So follow me on YouTube at Eddie Wright BBQ official. I need 1,000 subscribers. We are at 300 away. 300 away, and we will be opening the floodgates to another stream of revenue.
So
No matter
guess what?
how little the stream, all of them count.
Can you get some vegan recipes and we can help?
If I can get some vegan, yeah, we will actually cross that bridge. We will do some vegan recipes, and yeah, hey man, look, somebody told me this weekend, like, you should try and do some rotel, and I did, and I sold a half a pan of it, and I'm just like, I think I need to put this on the menu permanently. It's just, it's different for me because I'm that type of foodie to whereas I control whatever, so I'll try something if somebody suggests it. And if it makes money, it makes sense to me. It doesn't cost me nothing but time. I got plenty of that.
Right.
So that's why my barbecue is different from a lot of other people. A lot of and traditionalists is awesome, but I'm more of the experimental, try something new on a quarterly or monthly basis. We'll just spin something up and just be like, hey, let's fucking see who likes it.
Yeah. Now look, I want to give a shout out to my line brother, Alvin Demond Carter, Christopher Demond Carter. Now that's how we used to barbecue, and that's how we came up with that. Signature PE style, the Omega from Tougaloo, the PE style barbecue. And man, look, we had our own rub, and we had the different marinades that depending on what event it was.
Right.
So I identify with the experience of barbecue.
Hey, but now we got to shout out. Now I can't forget about my friend that's been holding it down for us for the last several years, and he cuts us out. Oh, barbecue Pat.
Barbecue Pat. Yeah, man, you gotta. Yeah, I get
nothing.
Nothing. The only I know that can barbecue.
Hey, what you say? I thought you said something. I thought you said
the only stigma that I know that can barbecue.
Oh, okay. You don't know nobody then. That's okay. Anyway,
just like I said, y'all can't hear Mac. Yeah, can y'all hear Mac? Yeah, you got
Also, I'm also into competitive barbecue. That's where all of this came from. So I've got another competition coming up this weekend at the Reservoir at Old Trace Park. It's the Guru Fest, and it's kind of like a big backyard style type, not backyard style, but it's an enthusiast type cooking competition. So from the novice to some pros, a lot of people are going to be there. So it's a lot of people that are in my circles who've asked me, hey, how do I get involved? Hey, how do I do this? I even have a guy who messaged me asking to shadow me to my competition. And I'm open door like that because that's how I got involved. Shouts out to the gentleman at Grills of Mississippi, Jonathan Huddleston and Tracy Hobson. They gave me that same opportunity last year at Rumble on the Reservoir. And it was a big competition, and I shadowed them. So it's just an open door for anybody who feels like they want to just try something different. You never know where this thing may take you. And nobody's saying you have to get out here and compete, but you never know as far as knowledge wise and the food and the styles. And more than anything, food is a universal communicator and conversation starter around the world. It builds bridges and it knocks down a lot of different things. Thanks to those guys and all of the people who support me on this crazy journey that I'm on, I've been able to have great conversations, build a lot of new bridges, and talk to people who I probably never would have met without the introduction of food into the conversation.
Yeah. That's major, man. And that speaks to, the importance of networking and us being able to step outside of our boxes, to step outside of our comfort zones. So if you could give one bit of advice outside of networking to somebody that may be sitting at the house, waiting or wanting to start a business, what would that be, Eddie?
Do it. I've said this. I've been saying this type of little, I call it a jingle to myself. I know I'm going to be successful. I just do not know where I'm going to break that glass ceiling. So I'm going to throw as many rocks as I can at it until it breaks. And you guys know me. You guys know how much I've done and how much I've had my hands in. Like I said, I've been an entrepreneur across a lot of different disciplines. each one still weighing heavily on my brain and I'm still having the ability to carry anyone at any given time. So entrepreneurship is a lifestyle. You never know where your success will come from if you do not try it all. If you are confident in it and you want to do it, try it. There is no failure. There's only learning. And if it does not cost you a lot of money, it is a lesson that is well learned.
I love that, man. There are no L's, there are only lessons. I've heard a lot of people say that, and a lot of those people that I've heard say that have been very, very successful at what they do.
Yep. That's true. You got anything you want everybody to know where we wind this thing down? Any other comment, anything you want to put out there? Let the folks know.
Nothing really, man. I'm just thankful. I'm really thankful. Like, I don't think people really understand how this has really kind of changed my life. Like, it's been really life changing, and hopefully one day I can go a little bit deeper into it because it involves a lot of family and a lot of other stuff. But I should have a 30 for 30. Let's just say that. But until we get there, thank you guys for this opportunity. I love to be able to talk because I never have been able to be the person who gets the interview. I'm always giving those for so many years. So it's nice to be on the other side of the ball these days. Again, I'm just thankful for everybody's support and everybody's outreach and hands. Every day somebody reaches out to me and just wants to give me a chance. And I'm so thankful for that.
Well, good deal. Look, y'all heard it right here first, man. Y'all need to go and order. You can subscribe to Eddie Wright Barbecue on YouTube. That's Eddie Wright Barbecue Official. We've got the link there. We'll share it on our Facebook page. We'll also send it out to you via email. And we want you to support our brother, our business associate, our friend, Eddie Wright Barbecue. All smoke, no sauce. If you come and you need some sauce, you're doing it wrong. You heard it right. Fuck your barbecue. We like his.
Causing drama.
Man.
All right, Mac. What we got coming up next? Eddie, we'll see you soon, man.
All right, man. Thanks, guys. You guys have a good one and cake.
Hey, we need to talk about that 250. We gotta get you to the coast.
Yeah. Hey, look. At this point, it's happening. It's just a matter of time. It's Labor Day sales, so I'm gonna try and put some pressure on these salesmen if they watching.
Who want to endorse him? Who want to make him a deal he can't refuse?
Looking for sponsors.
Yeah. That's what you do. Pull up to the car dealership with the rack, with the whole truck, with the smell coming off of there.
Yeah.
That's some content.
Feed them first.
I will try anything. Look, you heard me. I will try anything once.
You have smoke coming off the back of it and just say, hey, you know, I need something to pull this. Y'all want to try this? Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks for the opportunity. All right.
Mac, that was a good interview, man. Look, I can't wait to have some of Eddie's barbecue. Those wings, oh my goodness, they look so good. And then he has a smoked salmon. Now, I don't know. I don't know if have you looked at his YouTube page?
I've seen the menu. And
you see, I ain't asked you if you've seen the menu. I said, have you looked?
No, sir. I have not.
You need to go look at his YouTube page. This smoked salmon.
Yeah,
I might try that this weekend.
Look at you. He gonna put it in the FedEx box and send it to you.
No, I mean, like, I might try to. You know, he has the recipes.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I want to support him, but I really would just rather, you know, like we used to do. Sometimes walk up to the grill and get, hey man, give me some chicken straight off the grill.
Yeah. I think my cousin Raymond Epps told me that, you know, he was saying that if you do, the grill man should never be hungry. You should never be hungry. And when you grilling, you should be full. You know, you should be able to get what you need, because by the time they take it off and hit the pan, everybody else got it.
Oh man, I got a shout out Scrap. He say let him get that vinyl. Hold on, let me. Now you
what vinyl he want?
You want this one up here, but I'm gonna go.
What is that?
That's one of my like inspirational quotes.
Oh,
yeah, but now I got some vinyl. I need to go off. I need to go off screen and go get it though. Hold up.
Who asked for some vinyl? He asked for some vinyl?
Yeah. No, I don't think he was talking about that vinyl.
Oh.
I think he was talking about the vinyl that's over my shoulder.
I know it. I'm look. I need a reason to shout out this Prince 1999.
Yeah, I think you was actually supposed to let me have that.
Huh?
I think you supposed you supposed to let me have that record. Yeah. For the
1999, sir.
Yeah. Now look, Matt, what we got coming up? You did the show notes this week, and I haven't been privy to those.
So also what we got to cover, we got several events coming up. We want to make sure that we shout out all the businesses and everyone that's associated with Jackson Black pages. Continue to support Black businesses. We continue to talk about voter education, COVID, talking about census. So census, we also did census today. And what is that? Food for kids.
Who is that? Marlon Barnes saying food for kids. Help out, y'all. MB 119. They raising money for like kids or I don't.
Yeah. Shoot us an email or a message with more details about what you're trying to do to help out the children. Okay. We might be able to come and feed them, provide some meals. We had food today. If we had known that earlier, we could have took it straight to you, brother.
Email Mac at msmove.org, and then Marlon Barnes will see if we can help you out some more.
So we're talking about census now. As we know, the numbers wind down. September 30th is the last day to report for the numerators. The whole system. We want to make sure that you do the census. Go to census 2020 census.gov. Make sure you go and do your census for this year. Census is very important. Not only does it calculate the amount of money that you receive, but also if you will continue to have the same amount of representation on either U.S. senator or congressional seat is what you're going to lose or gain, or it can stay the same. So we're asking people to, for one, learn more about the census and the capacity that it has on your day-to-day life. Make sure that you fill it out, complete the census, do it online. If you have trouble, definitely reach out to us so we can get someone to assist you to do it. You can do it as an app. You can do it on the phone. You can do it on a computer. And we have the paper that you pass out, which is step-by-step process to show you what you need to do to complete the census. So there will be several more events going on around the city of Jackson. Mississippi Move pride itself on doing things a little bit different. We started Yardboard Entertainment years ago. Chuck started as the first DJ on the campus. It became a business in 2005. I think around 2006, we started to add more to it by just DJing. We started adding bartending. We started adding a little bit more. And over the years, we had to add the name Yardboard Entertainment and Events because we do a lot more than what we started out as. So we try to incorporate that into all our social events. We show up at an event or show up at a spot, whether it be a neighborhood or a community center or apartment complex, find a location, drop a grill, drop some DJ equipment, and drop some knowledge. Passing out information about voter registration, voter education, healthcare awareness, economic empowerment, whatever the case may be, whatever it needs for the Black community to get to where it needs to be, we champion ourselves in learning it. We champion ourselves in being able to educate ourselves, find the experts in those fields, and promote it as hard as we can. It's very important to have a credit coach. It's very important to have a financial advisor. It's very important to have an investor. And they don't need to be all the same person. You need to have a checks and balance system, right?
That's right.
If you did not know, big shout out to Dr. Henderson, who always said that you need a for-profit and a nonprofit. Well, if you had one of those before March of 2020, you find out the difference it makes between being the employer and the employee when it comes to benefits and assistance. So definitely ask people to make sure they do the census, make sure that you learn more about how the census works, understanding about businesses and understanding about funding, understanding about voter education. We're going to be coming to your area near you. If you want us to come to your neighborhood or your community, then drop a message. We'll coordinate with whoever it is, find a space. And the only thing we ask you to do, if you want us to come to your area to do this stuff, help assist getting people there.
Right.
We were giving out bags. We're giving out COVID relief and, pandemic relief information. We're giving out gloves. We gave out masks. So we travel with that stuff. All right, because we want everybody to be safe. If some people showed up today, didn't have a mask. I gave them a mask when they showed up, whether they left it at home or didn't have one. I did to make sure that we did that. So that's the stuff we have to do. We don't have time to argue about who should be doing what. While we arguing about what's not being done, guess what? Nothing is being done. Find something that you're passionate about. Find something that you feel that you can do. Or if you just want to volunteer, you can always volunteer with Mississippi Move. Read a couple of things we say about simple things you can do to help protect yourself during the COVID pandemic. Build your immune system with herbal products. What do I mean by herbal products? Use things like we talk about from Herbal Blessings, whether you get them from Herbal Blessings or somewhere else. Things that boost your immune system, increase circulation, things that reduce inflammation and mucus in the body. Understand about inflammation and mucus in the body when you start talking about illnesses like COVID that attacks your respiratory system. When mucus get into your lungs, that's what you have. You have pneumonia. So we want to make sure that you build up your immune system and do things that you can to keep yourself healthy. Wash hands and sanitize often. Sanitize. But when you have a chance to wash your hands, nothing beats good soap and water. Sanitizer kills the germs. But to clean your hands, you need to wash your hands with soap and water. Majority of us, if you ever worked in healthcare or food, you learn all these things already. We just stop applying them on a regular basis. Use disinfectant spray wipes to kill germs on surfaces. If you're touching something that somebody else is touching, you need to assume that it has germs. You use the same type of method that they taught us in healthcare. You approach the situation like everyone has HIV. Well, for pandemic for COVID-19, you approach everyone like they have COVID-19 because you don't know who have it. You don't know. It don't matter if that's your friend, your brother, or someone you know. You don't know who has it unless they've been tested to say that they are negative, and they went around anyone else after they were tested. After they were tested, they went back home and isolated themselves. Also, wear your mask when you're around others. This is something we added about saging, about cleansing anything that kills bacteria in the air. We actually do that. There's a couple sprays that do the same thing. Eat healthy, things to boost your immune system. Get rest to prevent fatigue, which also affects your immune system. A lot of times when we get tired, we running, a lot of us on the go. We wonder why we get sick so easily. Well, we get sick because we're fatigued. We're not getting enough rest. We're not getting enough for our body to rejuvenate to be able to get back out. Avoid older adults and those who have compromised immune system. Fine. If you say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, that's your decision, your personal body, your personal space. But don't take yourself around folks that have compromised immune system, your aunties, your grandparents, children, or anybody like that, because now you don't care about their life. So make sure that you stay where you are. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. That's you. Distance yourself 6 feet or more around others when you're outside. When someone is walking away from you during this COVID, quit following them. They're leaving you for a reason. Stop following behind them. Make sure you put on a mask, and respect whatever they say do when they're trying to do the things to keep themselves healthy. Learn symptoms and report to your healthcare physician. One thing that they was using to say about to see if someone had it was the temperature. But Dr. Turner shared a video, was a young lady that was in like day 12, never had a temperature. So, and some people are asymptomatic. They don't show any signs, but understand that you can come in contact with someone and not show any signs or symptoms for 6 to 14 days. So it'd be 2 weeks after you come in, or no symptoms, but you do not know. Listen, the powers that be are always talking about conspiracy theory. But one of the major conspiracies, I always used to say this, and it is true. The biggest trick that the devil ever pulled was proving to the world that he did not exist.
Come on, preacher.
That's for you to let your guard down, to make you think that things are okay, so that you can walk out there and be attacked, to be blindsided. They want to carry on like this pandemic is over with, like the virus is dead, everything is gone, but it's really not. They want you to move forward for multiple benefits. For one, to keep the economy stabilized. For two, to get you back to work so they can make more money. For three, it has been proven statistically what culture of people has been showing the most symptoms, has been affected the most, especially when it comes to the mortality rate. Right? So our community has been attacked on all fronts, physically, financially, and then we are being attacked socially about the things that they are doing that affect us more than they affect everybody else. And then what do they tell you? But we don't understand. Oh, they understand. We got to understand. Do what's right for yourself and your people. And those who do not, that have a problem with you doing right for you and your people, fuck them. Ain't no other way. That's it. And one of my pet peeves I talked about last time, stop making fun of people that wear their mask in their car. Talk about the folks that don't wear a mask at all.
Yeah, somebody talked about me because I had my mask on in the truck. I think I was on a Zoom party. One of the folks that was running that. Oh well, let's shout out Judge Latrice. She's running for office, Mississippi Supreme Court, and I was on a Zoom party she was doing, but Fingerprint was DJing.
Right.
And, so I was like, shout out to George Chuck. He got his mask on in the truck. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm masked up, buddy.
Man,
so, yeah.
Look, for people, in the words about one of my favorite rappers, MJG, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. When you start talking about folks doing what they have to do to protect themselves, we worry about the wrong damn thing. We're not worried about folks running around here having big ass parties. We're not worried about people that's not social distancing, people that are spreading the virus. But you worry about the people that's minding their own business in their vehicle with their mask on.
Now, I ain't had no mask on in the pool this weekend in Mexico.
But the thing about it is, so we talk about social norms. This is deep when we start talking about folks. We start talking about the identity crisis, social psychology of how we want everybody to fit in and be alike. We don't like to be fit to be made to be uncomfortable. So if you're wearing if you're wearing a mask, and everybody else is, they're looking at you why you got a mask on. Because they want. So that's one of the main issues that the United States had. Places like China and everywhere else, they would say wear a mask. They're like people put their mask on.
Yeah.
Because they really want to go back to their day-to-day life. And they say, in order to go back to your day-to-day life,
this is what you have to do.
This is what you had to do. Right? Yeah. So people understood that better. We have more, as they say, freedom, but we also have more opinions. And we are more opinionated. Just because you have opinion don't mean the shit right. They had a plan to bring children back to school. As you saw, the little Asian boy was walking in. They did a sanitize. He took the mask off that he wore to school. They gave him a new mask after he sanitized and did a whole process. And then they read his temperature. It was a whole process. Other countries, this is what they were doing. What did we do? They said, okay, you can go. And what we're saying is, why? Because you want to continue to play a part of the front that I am better than you. We are not with your country. We are the superpower. Well, that's not true. This is, we are the superpower, but some people pull their mask down, their chin. Listen to this. My wife gonna get mad at me. But please, people that don't have no teeth in their mouth, please stop taking your damn mask down to talk to us. People that don't have, especially if you ain't got no damn front teeth, stop taking your mask down to talk to folks. Because we know you spitting. I might not have no more front teeth in 10 years, but I damn sure ain't gonna take my mask down. Listen. The closer I get to 40, the less I care. I got 2 hours before I turn 40. The less and I'm just telling you the truth. Because, and Carlson Drummer can tell you about an incident we had happen today. Someone was there that refused to put their mask on, right? So we started talking about it doesn't matter at what socioeconomic status about white entitlement. You have no fronts, no teeth. And you don't want to wear a mask, and you standing upwind from me, keep trying to talk to me, and wonder why I ain't moving. And now my wife is giving me an ugly look. I am my people's child. I just understand. My big mama had a saying that said, I am who I am, teeth and tongue. Put your damn mask on and stop pulling your mask under your chin. Stop rubbing your nose and then pull it back up. The whole purpose of keeping your mask on is to protect everything from getting into your nose and your mouth. Stop wearing a mask just over your mouth and having your nose open. Stop. Chuck, stop laughing at me. I'm going to pour another drink.
Look, I'm sorry. So there was a conversation earlier where somebody was, referring to folks that wear a mask. Hey, man, ain't got a mask. I'm in my office, but I use it for demonstrations.
Right.
So wearing your mask like this is, and I'm not going to demonstrate with my underwear. It's like wearing your underwear where your genitalia is hanging out over the top of your underwear. It's like you're not wearing it appropriately. Like wear your mask appropriately so you can protect yourself and protect yourself or protect others from you. Protect yourself and protect others from you.
Someone, since all right now, reminder, disclaimer, this is Black and Uncensored. And someone said that the mask under your chin is the same way like putting a condom on your nutsack. I'm just gonna put it out there.
That's very true. That is very true. That's very true. And speaking of Black and Uncensored, we want to definitely give a shout out to the one of the platforms that we're on right now. It is Black with No Chaser. Black with No Chaser has a shop, and you can go to blackwithnochaser.myshopify.com, or you can click on blackwithnochaser.com and just click that shop button, and you can get yourself some really cool gear. I Got It Made is the engine behind the shop for Black with No Chaser. So we definitely want to ask everybody to go out there, get them some really cool stuff. These are a couple of the shirts that are really hot right now. Freedom ain't free, so fight. And that's the God honest truth. And then, Mac, let me highlight you, Mac. Let me stop this screen share. And if you see Mac has on one of the exclusive Introduction to Civil Rights and Lefts. That is one of the first courses from Dim Hands University, and that is available on the Black with No Chaser website in the shop. So please definitely go out and support Black with No Chaser. And for all of the podcasts and the shows that are airing on blackwithnochaser.com and the Black with No Chaser Facebook, y'all definitely go and give them a like, give them a share. And that will help us to continue to do what we do and report things in a manner that is very, very palatable for our people. And we're going to keep it 100% unapologetic. And we're not going to hold any punches. And we're going to aim at every bit of teeth for those of y'all that don't want to get out the way. So if you fall into that boat, then this message is for you. We aim at teeth.
In the words of Vern.
What you got over there, man?
What Vern say, knock a whole patch of hair at the top of your head. A whole patch. I just sent you something, Chuck. I don't know if you have time to put it up, but it's a message that's true. They said one of the greatest threats to the United States, and this was said by one of the presidents years ago, was the unity of the Negroes. Understand our capacity and what we have and what we can do, right? Pro-black don't mean anti-white. Means you ain't gonna take no shit. It means you care about your people. The accountability swings both ways. Please, all those folks out there, stop criticizing Black Lives Matter for not addressing all of Black needs because they choose to champion one of the issues. One of our major problem is if somebody do something, we think they should fix everything. Let me give you a better example for those in the Jackson area. Adiyambo. Why don't they build another school so that they can go to school all the way until graduation to go to college? Why don't you build a school? Because they started the foundation don't mean they got to complete the project, right? So if Black Lives Matter is focusing more on the unrest of social justice and systematic racism, especially with dealing with white supremacists that infiltrate law enforcement and carry out their plan of domestic terrorism on Black people. I use those terms because I'm not talking about the Black officer that's jumped in the pool to save a child or that ride around in their car and deliver toys. I'm talking about the white supremacists that utilize that platform to carry out executions and assassins, and they ride around and they look for ways to take people out. That message right there. When the FBI director, J. Edgar Hoover, was asked about his opinion was the single greatest threat. Understanding the FBI was formed when and to dismantle what group? Talking about self-sufficiency, right? So Chuck has a shirt with Black Panther, but the Black Panther mask, but it has a Black Panther beret, as we talked about last week, because they both were founded in '68. But anytime that Black community becomes self-sufficient and independent, because this country is built on slave values, then it needs a lower class. It needs a class of folks that can be able to sustain the blow and the blame for everything. When you tell me, let me get all the things I need to help fix our situation, you don't get them. But they still have the expectation that you should. We have to make those decisions for ourselves. Stop giving away our money, our vote, our time, our everything to build a system that don't value us. I know too many folks that have been in the military. They have gave their life and have fought for a country that has never fought for them. They love them to death. Law enforcement too. Law enforcement. I've worked with a veteran who was a veteran and also was a former law enforcement and ended up homeless. As long as you wearing them uniforms, they love you. When the uniforms come off, you're just another Negro. That's it. So we asking us to make sure that we champion the things that affects us the most. We're tired of being at the bottom. We cannot expect public officials to fix all our problems, but those who sit in those seats, we need to make sure that they're accountable for the part that they play, and we need to accept responsibility and take care of our own. Stop picking on Black Lives Matter. They have one job. They're doing something about one issue. What are we going to do to fix the rest? What are we going to do? Stop tearing down a system. We like to pick on the biggest person in the room, and that talk about that transferring of negative energy. Who has the most energy right now? Who got the hype? Well, they got it. Y'all ain't doing nothing about this. What are you doing? What are you doing? They don't even know your neighborhood. If that's the same type of issues in your neighborhood, because people have been organizing and fighting to change things in their neighborhood way before anybody that's associated with Black Lives Matter was even born. So just because now they have the energy and they have the notoriety, let's not tear them down while we build ourselves up. That is one of the major issues in the African-American community. We start talking about identity crisis and knowing who we are and whose we are, that we tear others down to build us up. Anytime someone comes to you talking bad about another person to make themselves look good, regardless if they trying to persuade you, get your vote, or whatever the case may be, stop listening.
So look, I threw the Black Panther is a Black Panther up on the screen, and I got that for sale on I got it made.us for $5 right now. So it's an embroidered patch. You can take it and you can use adhesive to apply it to, whatever shirt or garment, book bag, or you can get it embroidered, with your local seamstress or embroiderer. But I wanted to bring something or talk about something, and I got it pulled up.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on this. We brought it up last show. Okay. And right now we're about 15 minutes from the time that we have scheduled for our stop.
Right.
I want us to take a stab at this. Last week we talked about the contract with Black America that has been put forward by Ice Cube.
You heard the good news?
Have I heard the good news?
Yeah.
No. What good news? What you mean? Because
what I heard, the Biden campaign supposed to be reaching out to him for a sit down.
Okay. I'm digging it. I haven't heard that, but I also have been semi unplugged for the last 4 days.
Right. I just saw it today. Yeah. So okay. I just saw it today.
So let's look at this right quick. I'm going to take it. It's not full screen on y'all's screen, but we're going to play it. Okay. And you all should be able to hear the audio.
Yo, what's up? This your homie Ice Cube. Here to talk to my Black folks.
Can y'all see that? Is it moving?
I just want to be straight up because a lot of messages going out about this election. First and foremost, anybody telling you that you gotta vote, that it's your duty, that you have to exercise the right, and that people died for you to vote. For one, people did die, but nobody walked out their house to go die for you to vote. They were killed by probably some racists that don't want to see us get anything. But what I'm saying that to say this, Be skeptical of anybody telling you to vote and not telling you to ask for anything, or to tell you to just vote and not to get anything for your vote. That's not how it works. That's not the process. You don't vote just to vote. You vote because you're getting something, or your community is getting something. So everybody that's telling you that, man, look at them and say, what are you getting? Because people that just want you to vote and not ask for nothing, people that's in power that want you to vote but don't want you to get anything, or not asking for you to get anything economically, they suspect, straight up. Because a lot of people been in place for a long time and we ain't got shit. That shit gonna end. That shit gonna end. We gonna get what we supposed to get. Period. And anybody asking you not to ask, I wouldn't listen to them. Because that's the process. Every community asks for what they want. And we gonna do the same goddamn thing. Yo, what's up? This your homie Ice Cube.
All right, Mac. So that's that. And in the comments, there's a lot going on in the comments, and I'm not sure why the video didn't actually play on screen. But y'all, were you able to hear the audio?
Yeah, I heard the audio. He speaks of something that Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talked about, I think probably the last election, basically telling us as Black folks, stop being a hoe. You know, pretty much, summing it up, if you're going to give away your vote into the system, get something in return. And that's something that we get emotionally energized by a movement without any type of contract, of understanding that what we're going to get in return for our vote. The same way you should be doing with your dollar. When I give you my dollar, what do I get in exchange or in return for my dollar? And we have not. We are the only culture of people that everything you think about negative, we are the only one that happened to. We don't get anything in exchange for what we have. We do not. We do not have a. And so let me say this too. They were talking about social injustice, where you're seeing those domestic terrorists that wear uniforms attack Black folks, and they were saying that they don't attack white folks because white folks fight back or they shoot back, right? And they have a different approach of handling things. So as a Black culture, we have to do things differently to protect ourselves. And I understand what he was saying about that. The economic system. Never forget, Black Family Summit 2015. We had Brother Hollis Watkins and we had civil rights attorney Carol Rhodes. These are folks that was there. When they keep referring back to the movement, they were there in it. And they saying while they had a political plan, they wish they had more of an economical plan. What happened when the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated? What was he talking about when he was assassinated? When he went, what was he talking about? Affecting the economic system. Also, he was talking about, are we assimilating into a burning house? Also, he was talking about holding America accountable for all the things that they promised us. They promised us in the Declaration of Independence and Constitution.
Yeah. So
not saying that these things are true and happening right now. This is what you said. That's a contract. You said that all men are created equal in the eyes, and we have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, right? So show me in your systems, and show me in the way you govern. Show me in your policy how you look at what a person done and do not look at the color of their skin, their social economic status, to say this person get this, that person get that.
And if you don't, I'm gonna bust you in your mouth.
So there's ways to bust. There's a physical busting in the mouth, metaphorically speaking,
Right.
with money, organizing, voting, a lot of different things you can do.
Yeah.
But we have to be that cutting edge. Why? Because every time we gear up like this, somebody said, hey, don't be like that. Don't be like them. Don't do that. Again, we are training for a kata competition. They are training for an MMA fight. We are training differently. Have the root. Here's the thing we don't realize. In the 80s, we don't understand that we are losing things and things are changing and getting worse than they were during that time. Things are heightening. They are getting worse. Why? Because there's a fear factor of if we don't do something now, by this projected date, the African American and other minority would be the majority. There has been a strong effort to make sure that that does not happen.
Yeah.
And for one, again, be careful for distractions, controlling the narrative, keeping you focused on something else, keeping you arguing amongst each other, versus actually working together and unifying to come up with a plan. So I understand what he's saying, because we talked about this. We've had several conversations about an agenda, and people keep saying that we need an agenda. And I used to say all the time, me and Stamps would be talking, I said, we can't even stay on topic for 1 hour on one show. And people, we will have topics, and we were talking about those topics, and somebody calling in about a pothole on Dixon Road. We're not talking about that right now. But we lose sight of what the bigger picture is of what we're working on by talking about the low-level stuff that we see on a day-to-day basis. We're talking about we're trying to come up with a way. I never forget this call. Sonoris Green was running for office. He was there. We were talking about affordable health care, something that we're talking about now. We're going to start that campaign very soon of asking you to email your public officials on the state level and also the federal level to support expanding affordable health care. We were talking about projected numbers of affordable health care. Caller called in and said, while y'all talking about affordable health care, you need to be talking about jobs. So we had to educate him and say, you know how many jobs or professions will be created at the expanded affordable health care? Right here in the city of Jackson, because it's the capital, where majority of your hospitals are.
Right.
And your specialists are here. The next place is probably going to be the coast. And then it's going to bounce back up to North Mississippi and in the Delta area.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
you know how many
quite a few hospitals that are growing. There are a number of hospitals that are expanding, building more clinics, or they are, buying the smaller clinics and adding them to their system of care.
Yeah, they changed. Like Marriott bought everything in sight.
Yeah, and I mean, from my days at Tougaloo, I understand what the expansion of the affordable care, system, or the Medicaid coming into the state and expanding, what that means.
Right.
The thing is there's a disconnect between like the American people.
Mm-hmm.
Like the American people don't understand what that means, because propaganda is real, marketing is real,
right?
And the thing is, we take what people sell to us,
correct,
when it comes to the bills or the legislation that we support. And I've never lived anywhere else other than these United States, so I can't say firsthand that other folks in other incorporated entities are taking things as they are sold to them. I believe that other folks in other entities have the opportunity to elect people that will represent their interest, because they aim at their teeth. Meaning that if I put Mac into office, I have Mac's phone number, and I'm gonna call his personal number, and I'm going to ask him how Mac and Jay are doing, and then I'm going to, after I make Mac's acquaintance, then I'm going to say, well, look, Mac, I just want a little bit of your time tonight, and then I'll address that. Like go into that.
I think
we don't have that.
our situation is different, right? So America prides itself on talking about the land of the free, home of the brave.
White people in America talk about that.
Huh?
White people in America talk about that.
Correct. So people will talk about coming here because of the opportunities, right?
Yes.
Our constitution and our law of the land is set up differently than other countries, right? So it basically saying it's a void contract. All the stuff that you say is that's promised to me is I don't get when I get here to a certain degree. So it's not like, well, yeah, some people you can always say, yeah, this person champion, they did this, but overall structure is that the norm? It's not. It is not the norm. It's not the norm when you have a billionaire that get pulled over heading to his private airport. He has to explain who he is and where he's going at all times. That is not the norm. You trying to tell me you don't know who this person is? One time when T.I. was arrested at the guard shack at his house, even when his wife called and said, "Hey, he left his key." You trying to tell me you didn't know who this guy was? You was pulling your authority because for one, I work for you. I'm already upset. There was a movie, I think Mailman was telling me about a movie where it was a black farmer and his son and a white farmer and their son, their land was adjacent. The black farmer had a better mule and his crops was doing better. And the white farmer mule wasn't that good. And they woke up one day and the black farmer mule had died. And they were trying to explain it to his son that it is a sad day for you as a white man when you can't do better than a Negro. So understand white supremacy. White supremacy is
the delusion of white supremacy.
The delusion of white supremacy.
Yes.
That take the most low level, whatever you want to say about that person, and put them above the most esteemed black person. So basically, and that's what how they look at it. It look at it no matter what you achieve as a black person, what you have. Not saying that we all are people and we all should be treated equally. Not talking about that. That you are still beneath me because of the color of your skin and because of who you are. And if you have anything, somebody gave it to you. That's the belief system. And as you see now in 2020, we know now more of what Brother Hollis and so many like him have went through in the 60s than ever before because they are getting comfortable because of leadership stepping out and saying things boldly to people and putting their hands on folks and pretending like they don't know and trying them same old tricks they tried in the 60s. Right? So I don't know about most people. I just know that the folks that I know believe in non-violence by any means necessary. And non-violent by any means necessary is if I want to stay non-violent and if you try to put your hands on me and I decide I'm going to keep your hands, then that's what I have to do in order for me to continue to stay non-violent. Because I need to end the situation then, because if not, I got to keep dealing with you. That's what we're talking about. People have gotten too comfortable to walking up on black women and spitting on folks' children because you upset. But you try to call black folks savages when they showed a young white man that was standing outside of a grocery store parking lot holding up a sign that said Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. And you had white folks that looked just like him that was cussing at him and throwing finger signs just because he was holding the sign.
And I don't
That's it.
I don't know if is it necessary for us to explain that? Like I don't I feel like
explaining shit.
No. What I mean is that like do you think that we're gonna have people that are gonna view this broadcast and they could potentially be educated by us explaining why people say Black Lives Matter?
I think it's going to be us having a conversation and people just happen to be listening. That we are explaining and exposing, because we are talking about topics that we keep seeing on our timeline. I just saw that on my timeline the other day where people keep saying that Black Lives Matter, then why we're doing this. They talking about one group that expressed themselves and decided to talk about this and focus on this. That's one group. What about other groups? Well, that group's getting a lot of attention. So we're picking on the biggest group in the room or the biggest person in the room. Let's champion the issues that bother us. If So there's a training we participated in called internal and external customer service. Black Lives Matter is focusing on one of the external customer service for the Black community. Who is ready to focus on the internal? See, there's two different things. Because in order to achieve what we need, we got to have internal customer service. And the
So
reason
you saying Black Lives Matter is an
external
thing because it's targeted towards the people who do not believe that Black lives matter.
Right.
Okay.
Internal customer service is, are we ready to work on our personal issues with each other to make sure we can build a unity that we need to demand that people know that our lives matter? Because a house divided cannot stand. And right now, we so divided, it don't make no sense at all.
So Josh is in our comments. He's saying he feels you, but he doesn't think that white supremacy is a delusion.
Well, he's saying in the delusion way of their way of thinking as a delusion, but they have made the delusion become a reality by what they do, because and that's what the basis of what you're saying. Because again, now some people have made some comments that we don't like, and that's one thing that we don't want to hear. We got to stop allowing things to happen, and that means is as a unit, what are we going to do to push back against things when they happen to us as a people? Because we do play a part in some of it by not being able to stop it when it first happens, right? When that first person walk up to that young sister and stick his finger in his face and he loses his finger, then the next person gonna say, well, I ain't gonna do that shit. I seen what happened to him. But if it keeps happening, then it's like, oh, okay, well, that's cool to do. Again, for us as Black folks, we can't have these conversations, right? Even how the media cast protesters that are expressing their Second Amendment right to Black groups being Black militias, right? The wording. We talk about it a lot of this time in mental health.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was going back to when talking about marketing. Like you got propaganda, you've got marketing that portrays things in a certain light, and then those things that are continuously pushed and those things that are repetitively seen. It's the same rule of thumb as applies to an entrepreneur, for instance, with Eddie Wright. Like we said Eddie's name and Eddie Wright Barbecue 7 times or more.
Right. Intentionally. Right.
Intentionally. Because we want that brother to be able to be successful in what he's doing. He's achieved some level of success as an entrepreneur. So we want to make sure that we can elevate him. Now, in terms of, what I meant by the delusion of white supremacy, it is not a fact that white people are superior to us.
Correct.
It is something that they believe. That's what I mean about the delusion. Now, is there a white supremacist or a system that is operated by people who believe in that particular notion? Yes, there is a system that operates in that. Now, so I'm not disagreeing. I'm not saying that that white supremacy or the delusion of white supremacy doesn't actualize or realize itself in ways that affect us as a people.
Right.
But I am saying that it came from a specific set of people that says, you know what, if we don't keep these motherfuckers down, then it will be the end of what we call these United States.
And that has been actually said, Chuck. You know what I'm saying? That has actually been said because it is not that you really understand this. When they talk about how the West was born, they got 100,000 Westerns by how they had to tame the Wild West. Well, they said that they had to tame the Wild West because the Wild West was wild, right? It was like, hey, you can have that and have that. But they came here and set up rules to the people that was there and then made them abide by the rules and tell them what they cannot and cannot do in their own land. But how did you treat them? So this is a norm. You're talking about hundreds and hundreds of years of a culture believing that their superiority is greater than others because of what they have done to achieve it.
Yeah.
And so when you start talking about savagery, you start talking about this is the way to do it. You achieve what you achieve with sword and shield or musket or bullet And to this day, you still do it the same way with bullet. That was one of the main reasons you don't want folks to know how to read, because I can't read the contract for myself now, right? So that's those things. I see Josh pushing nonviolent must encompass self-defense. When I said nonviolent by any means necessary, I was saying that, I'm nonviolent until I have a reason for it not to be. And that's one thing that we have to look at too. And then what you're saying is right, Josh, about self-defense. But sometimes it ain't, well, I ain't gonna say that. Self-defense, yes. But I think a lot of times we are always on the defensive, and not saying physically fighting, but we need to be offensive sometimes. And how many times do we need to fall for the same play? How many times we need to fall for the same thing, but say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do proactively to make sure that we do not fall into that situation again. We have to understand the system that we're in. We understand where we are. When we know where we are, then we know what to do. But we have got to put education over entertainment. Everything is not going to be fun. Everything is not going to be easy. To get what we need, we got to do it.
So look, one of the things that I wanted to bring to the show this week is
20 minutes to 11, Chuck.
Yeah, it's Nightcap Knowledge, and we need to wrap within the next 4 minutes. We got folks that are here with us. We want to say thank you for tuning in. We want to say thank you for giving us your comments, your likes, give us your feedback, and all of that. But one of the things that I wanted to bring to the show this week is a couple of things that I've been reading for a number of years, or at least one thing I've been reading for a number of years, and then something else that is timely in terms of things that we should support. Now, what the first thing, and I'll go full screen on this just so folks can see it. Let me get my little bookmark out the way. All right. This one is the American Revolution. This is pages from a Negro Worker's Notebook, James Boggs, right? If you don't know who James Boggs is, you should ask somebody from Detroit who actually knows about all of the things that happened in the in the time that James Boggs was a auto worker at Chrysler. And he's originally from Marion Junction, Alabama, born in 1919. But this is something that talks about, what the makings of this American Revolution, right?
Right.
The other thing, and this could be one of the things that we can do in terms of our actual knowledge, like what are the things that inspire us to have these conversations. We talk a lot about the people that inspire us to have these conversations. Mac and I are more than entertainment professionals. I'm more than a DJ. I went to Tougaloo. I was a history major. I graduated with that history degree. I have a master's of arts in a master of liberal arts with an emphasis in communications. The other thing about Mac has graduated from Tougaloo. He has a degree in social work. He has began his PhD studies in that same area. So he's got a background in political science. We've both been on the ground doing organizing. And one of our good friends, my frat brother Josh, who's in the comments, he has also ushered me into a different area of understanding, and we have healthy conversation and debate, but not trying to switch gears from that, because we'll continue this, and we may even do a bonus episode this week. It's only Tuesday, right?
Right.
But in honor of Chadwick Boseman and also Black Panther, we want to bring into your knowledge base or your mind Black Panther, the novel. Who is the Black Panther? By Jesse Holland. This is a brother that's from Mississippi. I think he's an Ole Miss grad, and he's also one of my frat brothers. It's a novel of the Marvel Universe, but it's written, or it was penned by Jesse Holland, Mississippi. And so if y'all want to go out there and get that, it's on Amazon. I had to buy it from Amazon. I wasn't able to buy it like straight from Jesse's website. But I can say, if you want to do something that or read something that's going to give you something to think about. These are two things that are in my two books that are in my library, and we want to put that on your mental so that you can go to sleep on that. Of course, and a nightcap.
So I want to highlight a lot of people that are inspirational that have left their mark in this world. They all draw back from one person. So when you start talking about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, referring back and talking about Marcus Garvey, you start talking about so many others, Dr. Amos Wilson, Marcus Garvey, economic plan, creating your own, having your own, being able to provide for you. So I think that's one thing, is start to read and learn more about Marcus Garvey and who he was and what he was able to do in a time period like no other. Read more about Dr. Amos Wilson, Blueprint to Black Power. You can find out the YouTubes. If you don't want to read it, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube and watch him break it down. Dedicated his life to that. With roots from Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, actually. Identity crisis. When you start talking about the crime in Black community, all of this has been addressed years to come, and these people draw back from the same source about independent organization, having your own accountability, building your own system, having your own money, economics. So definitely know that if we do not require out of the people that work for to get what we need, and then if you have other choices, you're gonna have to build your own. So those are the two options we have. If we're not willing to do those two things, then why we keep complaining? Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't vent because you had a bad day, but long, drawn out complaints about something that you're not doing anything about. I know for me, I have neither the energy nor the time or desire to hear it unless we're talking about actually doing something about changing the dynamics in which the situation is in right now. Like this is the norm. Well, let's change the norm. And I think a lot of times fear stands in our way of, if we're not doing this, then what are we going to be doing? I celebrated one of the folks from my hometown who actually cut the cord, as they say. They got rid of their cable. Well, people say, well, what you going to do without cable? Read more, Netflix. It's a lot of things you can do without cable. But I broke it down and said, hey, if you have $150 a month, put 50 in your savings, put 100 in your Roth IRA. So now you don't have to wait till you retire. Don't have to wait till you 70 to retire. Now you're kicking in $100 a month to your own Roth IRA. Find you an investor and set that up. So now you say, you know what? I'm gonna go home at 45. I'm gonna go home at 50. So the number that you're looking for is how much money. It's not an age. It's a money. So if you have enough money, if they tell you, Chuck, if you do everything right and at 45 years old, your house is paid off, your car is paid off, and you got $750,000 in the bank and you got 3 businesses running, why are you working for anybody else? You wouldn't be working for anybody else because actually you would have stopped working for somebody else years prior to, once your business success, because you have been more time to dedicate to your own craft versus pulling from somebody else. So, and that's what we try to get folks to understand, that now, again, we said again, the freedom ain't free, and the cost of freedom is high economically when you work for yourself, because there is no one to call into.
Hello.
You can't let it, oh man, I don't feel like getting up right now. No.
I worked until about 2 o'clock in the morning.
No. And what does we got a lot of shows we got. We have a lot of personal knowledge, personal experiences, people we know, a lot of things we've been talking about for years, and we're going to break these shows down and stick to those topics each night until we can really get folks to understand, like economics, entrepreneurship, financial literacy. All those are similar, but they are different, and they can actually have their own show as we break that down, because Chuck options is to run his business. He got to do everything he need to do in a day, put his children to bed, and then press t-shirts all night. Then get right back up in the morning to get his children up and ready for school.
And then get on conference calls and talk to folks about other things that provide other streams of income. So yeah, look, I'm about that life. I'm about that grind. I'm also I'm about making sure that I can be the person that I need to be for my family. I'm about having access to my family. I don't want to. I've had that job that paid me a lot of money, and I was gone for out of 7 days a week. And on the 7th day of the week, I was preparing to go back out. I've had that. That's not where I want to be. I'd much rather be able to, go and do for my friends and then come back and still be present for my wife and my sons. In the midst of all that's going on right now, today, I was able to go and be with Kroon and support him and help put the chairs up and take the tables and put them on the back of my truck and take them back to the church and then make it home in time to see my two sons and my wife and kiss them and hang out with them for a minute and then kiss them before they go to bed and then do this podcast to provide my insight, my opinion on some things, and then promote my honestly promote my business, provide some content, promote my business, and do something that we can call people to be better humans. That's all this Nightcap Knowledge is about. It's an outlet for Mac and I to talk. We want to bring on and highlight business owners, but also we want to be able to create more business for ourselves, provide a platform to educate folks, to share opinions. We can debate, but it's about the exchange of knowledge, meaning that there are very, very simple things in terms of what we know about the system that we operate in. Right, your vote matters, and your vote is your currency. One man, one vote. One woman, one vote. Your vote is your currency. If you're not counted in the census, that means that you will not have the number of representatives at the legislature.
Great. Yeah.
So the more people that you have counted,
level,
right. The more people that you have counted, that means the more opportunity for representation, or that opportunity for representation increases at that congressional level, right? So let's get these folks counted. When y'all see because I know we got to shut this thing down. I know we done been on here for a long time.
And what my wife would say, you talking about so something that people might not know. You got a PK, which is Chuck, and then I'm the nephew of a deacon superintendent. So you started talking about,
and I'm used to DJing for 4 to 6 hours at a time. Now I can't
talking, and I've been doing training since I was 16 years old. So we could talk all day. So what we're going to do better for next show is set an alarm for ourselves. One of the good things about being on a radio show, that you have a certain time you got to get off. So you start to wind it down and
Mac, you got to do better about the show notes. I was gone this weekend and I was not able to write the show notes out.
Yeah.
You had access to that document, so I'm calling you out on the live. You have the show notes for next week. I ain't cat. You cat.
Super cat, because we've been talking. We hit our points and kept talking about some other shit. But hey, that's we're gonna end. So, but I want to highlight something before we end it. Make sure that everybody tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow we will be going live. We will have the Virgo Experience, the Virgo Boat Edition. Is a virtual party. We're gonna be on Facebook. DJ George Chuck is gonna be in the mix. DJ Nasty Show. We're going to have a good time. We're going to enjoy ourselves for about 2 hours, right? We're going to do that. Celebrate my birthday. Very thankful to be here for 40. And the older you get, the more simple things are. Because, you can go out and throw these big stuff. Yeah, that's what we are planning to do. But seeing what has happened and how many people we have lost since January to now, one of the best gifts is being alive in good health with your family and friends to see your birthday. That's a true blessing of a birthday. So we're definitely very thankful for that. Tomorrow is Arc Wednesday, and do something random kindness for someone. And, they don't have to be in need. Just do something nice. Buy a cup of coffee, do something nice for somebody. Tomorrow is Arc Wednesday, so make sure that you do that and tune in to the show. We're going to be airing on all the networks and all the pages and sites that we're on now for the party, and we're gonna hang out. We'll have our cups. Chuck will have a couple of cups.
Yeah.
Next week we will have none other than Albert Garrett
I'm happy to be a part of
different this time. It's different this time, and so I probably missed the title. But Alvin Garrett, known for his song "Walk On By Myself," and this brother, you can find him on Facebook. You can find him on a lot of different social media outlets. Very, very talented brother. He's going to be on the show he actually might show up tomorrow. Who knows? He might be a surprise guest, but he definitely will be on the show next week. Brother Alvin Garrett. So check him out.
All right, man. Y'all heard it. This has been Nightcap Knowledge. This is episode 2, and we got to sign off with our official theme music provided by Dollar Black, Jody Boy. This is Mississippi Magic. Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy to be a part of your history. It's these feelings that always happen to get to me instantly. I start thinking, projecting happiness mentally, like me on a ticket and you excited to get to me. Who the greatest? They mention me, and I'm their biggest fan. Always known to bring that bounce like I'm Timberland. They say they see me getting bigger, ain't that been the plan? Been across the nation and rocked. I'm Jackson's Jigger, man. I ain't a mirror created, make me less of that. I promise to make it work, never perfection, man. Only way I'll stop is for a better plan. Till then I'm aiming to put some platinum on my letter, man. Never settle land, anxious I could never be. If you ain't all in, the best you could do is let me free. Cause either way, greatness in my path. Get some money just to split with my staff. Homie, all I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happy. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happy. This that Mississippi magic.
Okay, Mississippi monster, writing like I'm a prodigy. Businessman first, and I don't care for the apologies. My name in the rafters, God does favors, and my reputation real cold like Lawrence Taylor. My flow sick, already know this, I'm the lotus. Michael Jordan flute game, my skills still focused. Simply put, I'm Mississippi, that's personified. 16 bars from me will get them nullified. Jacktown legend had the juice since grade school. And please don't make moves unless you really getting paid to. My mama told me nothing really faze you, cause life been hard, baby, nothing should shake it. I'm wearing the crown, this is my city. Point blank period, ain't nobody with me. Joking in my mindset, Batman in my spirit. Put it on a flash so that my real.
All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happy. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic.
Since 1992, they knew he was destined for greatness. Like, look at what God created. He's not your regular babe. He is so special, the people were loving him, jealous would hate him. He will be favored, one of the greatest. This is a factual statement. He will start off underrated. The timing is perfect, he's patient. This a legend in the making. Prayer, wisdom, dedication. What keeps him going, you won't break him. Some told him he a prophet, but he told him stop it, I'm just trying to wake him. Even with nothing in his pocket, he still have a belief, show him how to keep the faith. It's a fun fact, never fake it, never lied, how the gun clap. Everybody see the gift in him like it's unwrapped. He took L's for the comeback, yeah. Mama taught him love, grandma showed him home. Daddy showed him what's real and taught him how to hold his own. The world showed him it's wicked, then his heart turned cold. God told him never fold, it's for the purpose, had your story told. Next thing you know, we started the game and started the rapping. Young nigga from Jackson dropped the classic, showing Mississippi.
All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound and the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound in the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic. All I need is lights, camera, action. You bring the energy and I can bring the passion. Give me the sound in the stage, make it happen. This that Mississippi magic.
Peace out. We'll see y'all next week. Nightcap.